Yo, what's good? It's Blackpillvillain. And I just want to make a quick little disclaimer. If you don't like me making these videos and, exposing these bots and these thoughts or whatever, I understand. Just, go watch, I got hundreds of other videos. Go watch those videos or wait till my next video whenever I'm not feeling so depressed to make it. And, but this video is for people that, like when I make these type of videos and things of that nature. And also, I want you guys to notice something about these pretty females is if you notice that they'll be in their 20s, mid 20s, even early 30s, some even older, and they're always surrounded by, childlike objects, teddy bears, Pokemons, anime, stuff like that. And I think a lot of us who have, mental issues in a way, we surround ourselves with things that remind us of a more beautiful time. But that's enough for now. And recently I was talking to somebody who, you know, you know, how these dating apps are. You talk to somebody, you think everything's going good, and then they just ghost you. And that particular person kind of reminds me of this girl on screen, you know, where you're thinking that it's a neat girl, a neat female, somebody that's, okay, she says she's so lonely and all that. Well, okay, let me try to talk to her and stuff. And then comes to find out she ghosts you, and then you look on her profile, and it's just, it's brutal. You click on her Facebook and all that, and you see that, she's talking to guys and stuff. But let's just get right into it, man. This is the little introduction right there. Let's continue.
Hi YouTube. I just want to talk about feeling lonely because I know I made another video about this, so it's probably going to be annoying to repeat myself, but I really don't think I fit in.
Just look in her eyes. Let me tell you guys something, young men. Pay attention to this, because I made these videos for young men not to be deceived and fooled by these evil females. Do you see in her eyes, do you really see true pain in her eyes? Look closely into her eyes. Is that the face of somebody that's really lonely and really going through it? Is that the face of somebody that's really, 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 just trapped in a dark position that can't get anybody? To me, this is one of those girls that was probably kind of shy until she got around Chad and Tyrone or whatever. And she just, maybe shy, play video games, anime, stuff like that, which is fine. But you got to understand, a lot of males that play video games and anime and they're really into it, a lot of them are fat, ugly, geeky. They stink. You know what I mean? They don't have good hygiene. They're the typical losers or nerds or rejects. And then you have another side of men who also, pretty much like the same entertainment, but these guys are just, they don't have the right facial structure, the right bone structure, the right height, and they get rejected by females like this. Females like these could save a lot of guys. If a cute girl like this can go to somebody like me, a neat guy or a guy who, can lift weights or try to get his act together, and if she's going to be there for me and hold me down, man, I can change my life around. These women don't know what true isolation and loneliness is. No, they don't. And yeah, her room looks like somebody that does have some type of mental illness, because I used to have a junkie room like this too, where I just have everything everywhere just messed up like that. Yeah, but look at her. You can just tell she's just sad because she ain't getting no Chad. Point blank. Period. Now let's continue.
At all at my school, and it's really making me anxious because
Let's rewind that back.
I fit in at all at my school, and it's really making me anxious because
Now look how pretty this pretty white girl is saying she doesn't fit in at school. Translation, pretty much like the other girls that how girls got there's cliques in high school or cliques in college and stuff like that. Pretty much other girls are not letting her get into their cliques because she probably has a reputation of being a whore. That's one thing you got to know about these neat females. A lot of these gamer girls, a lot of these lonely females, they're whores. They love sex. Hell, some of them love sex more than men. You know what I mean? Let's just be real. They love sex and they have lots of sex. And when they get on camera and start talking, they don't tell you their whole life story. They don't tell you why they're alone. They don't tell you why they're in their rooms now. And a lot of it, if you dig deeper, you find out that she screwed her best friend's fiance or her best friend's boyfriend or whatever. So then, yeah, she gets isolated or rejected, or she may just be talking crap about people, and possibly people are just mean at school when they see a pretty girl like her that can get that can get the Chads and Tyrones, and they may be mean to her. But usually females would be kind of nice to another cute female, even if it's a fake nice. They try to put on this front like they're homegirls and all that, and let's go here, but really they're secretly talking behind her back. That bitch thinks she's all that, and blah, 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 blah. But with this, this seems to me there's something else going on, and she's not telling the whole story, and that's usually how it is. A pretty girl like this that can't fit in. Can you imagine? A sub 5 guy who can't fit in. We really can't fit in. We can't fit in with our own families. We can't fit in with society. Hell, we can't even fit in our own minds half the damn fucking time. And you're gonna tell me this beautiful thing is alone? Let's continue.
And I really want to like going to life school, right? I want to be positive about it because it's something new and it's something I've wanted to do for a little bit. But I'm very, very like anxious about being looked at and being like perceived. And I know it's ironic because I have like a YouTube channel or whatever.
If you're so like these girls are full of shit. She's talking about how she has problems with people looking at her. She's beautiful. Do you think these girls will survive our situation? Us truly ugly guys, us truly rejected men in this position that we're in. We're really ugly. People really look at us and frown. Hell, when people come look at my mom's house to see if they want to buy it, you can tell they look at you and frown, or they look at you a certain way. You walk outside, take the trash, or you go anywhere that's a social public place. Like on my other channel, Ice Angel Halo or whatever, I got I have a food review, of our burgers or whatever, and you know, we go to some of these public places or whatever, and you see how females look at you or treat you. You understand, you understand what it really means to be judged based on how you look. If you have my skin color configuration, and you see how people treat you as soon as you step into any situation, you know what I mean? Then you understand, the fomentation of mental degradation. Point blank. Now let's continue.
But the thing is, online I'm much different than how I am in real life. In real life, I'm very like shy, like super shy. Like I don't.
Let me tell you guys a secret. Whenever you see one of these girls with the chokers right there, you see that thing upon her neck, young men. You see that choker? That's a telltale sign that she sucks dick. It's as much as a sign as when a girl gets her tongue pierced. That's how you know that she's a dick sucker. And these girls are usually sucking and fucking and doing all that. She's telling you she's alone. In translation, what she really means is she just can't find the guy that she truly wants. Point blank. Period. But she can find. Look how pretty this girl is. She can find 100 guys right now to lick her ass, and I mean literally.
Talk to you at all, shy. I stutter. I'm like stumbling over my words at all times, and online I'm a lot more charismatic, I think, because you don't really like see me jolt my eyes around all the time. You don't see me seem disinterested in what you're saying, but I'm not ever really disinterested. I just really don't know what to say, and
You're a pretty female. We don't expect pretty females to have anything to say but to be pretty. And if a guy really likes you, which most guys that come around you like you, they want to fuck you. You don't got to say too much. You know what I mean? Point blank. Period. You ain't got to say too much. Just be pretty, and that's it. When you're a female. Now, when you're a guy, you got to have all these extra, parameters and diameters and all type of crap that goes in with it. You got to be funny. You got to be tall. You got to be handsome. You got to be rich. You got to have a big dick. You got to have this. You got to have a nice friend circle. You got to be a million. You got to have everything. But a female like you, this girl can land a millionaire. Some of them NBA ninjas, they get like $50 million contracts, and they meet them a little white girl like this. They'll take this white girl out of her room and put her in a multi-million-dollar mansion in California. Now, a guy in her position, he could even dream or wish for a billionaire to come save him, unless he's Jeremy Meeks. Brutal.
I don't know, it hurts so bad because I see everyone around me.
It hurts so bad, and look at her face. Do you think this girl know what true pain is, what we go through? I hear voices in my head. Does that make me crazy? I know that I could be a great millionaire famous rapper, but I don't got nobody around to help me. Does that make me lazy? People look at me and frown. They see my brown or my black skin and they frown. You know, they get mad when I walk into the room as a black man. God damn it. They look at me and judge me on my looks and my skin color configuration. I used to get kicked out of class when I wasn't even fucking talking. It'd be other people, other skin color configurations, and they would be talking and throwing paper planes and doing all type of shit in class, and I'd be quiet and the teacher would kick me out. And even if the people tried to protest and say, hey, he wasn't even talking, she'll still kick me out. And if I try to protest, I get in more trouble. You get suspension, or you get the after school detention. They keep you there for like an hour and a half and crap. At my old high school, they had a thing called the dungeon. And it's like this classroom at pretty much the bottom of the damn school. It's like literally take these long ass stairs and like a big ass like double door, and it's called the dungeon. It's like a classroom down there. It's like a TV in there and all that, refrigerator and all that, but it's a dungeon, and it's for the baddest of the baddest.
Doing fine, talking to people like normal, and I just feel like an alien. I feel like I don't even really belong here, and I feel so alone all the time. I see other people having all these experiences that I should be having.
Now, young man, when she says she feels so alone all the time, she sees other people having experiences that she should be having. What she means is she sees other girls who are having the Chads and the Tyrones and having sex with them. But she must has a reputation. She must have fucked the wrong person or did something with the wrong person, and then now she has a reputation in school for being a whore. And even guys, you know how men are. We'll come slide in her DMs and try to fuck on the low. But publicly, people got to keep an image. It's like that one guy. Oh, I don't fuck fat bitches. No, she fat. But then he would turn around and then get fellatio from her low key without his homies finding out. But when they find out, they start to make fun of him. But this girl, she's pretty. She's too pretty to be alone, which lets me know that her number one, her standards are too high. Or number two, she does something horrible in her past and she's trying to hide it. Young men, be very careful when these women are talking. Listen to everything they say, how they say it, the vocal inflections, the tonality, their eyes. Look at everything when they say it, because they don't just say it just to say it. They reveal a lot of what about themselves with what they say and their utilization and integration of information that they allow people to know. So you have to pay attention to what they say and also pay attention to what they don't say. Let's continue.
But I can't put myself out there in my community, like in real life, and talk to people. And it's just like, I talk to my computer, my tablet, my phone just fine. So why is it so different when I'm talking to someone in real life?
If an ugly guy like me came to you and talked to you, you'd be disgusted. First, you see my skin color configuration, like hell no. Yeah, I didn't mean unless I got a BBC, and I do got a BBC. But the problem is, no girl's gonna see because I'm ugly in the face. That's brutal.
I don't know. It's really just been depressing me. I haven't wanted to eat much because I feel like there's something wrong with me fundamentally, like on the outside, that makes me hard to approach. But I don't.
Makes her hard to approach. Nah, girl, you already know when men approach you that are ugly, you reject them. You're like, yeah, get away. Or you do whatever it is. You make it difficult for men to approach. Pretty girls like this, these neat females or whatever, you know, you try to go and talk to them if you're an ugly guy, then they'll treat you like any other female. But if you're a Jeremy Meeks came up to her, all of a sudden she opens up and becomes bubbly all of a sudden. She know how to talk then. And then the next thing you know, she ain't talking because she got something in her mouth. And it's not a salami sandwich.
Really know what that would be. I know I look different. I'm like, quote unquote, emo or whatever. But
You're a white girl. You can call yourself email, a spaceship, or an astronaut. You're a white woman. You all you see only the privileged society get the name, get to have stuff like the battles of the classes and stuff like that, and the battles of different titles. No, you're a pretty white girl in America. You are the ultimate epitome of beauty. All the girls from South Korea, from Japan, even black women in Africa, even people in Iran, where the term Aryan came from, you know, they all want to be white women, So, well, because I'm emo and I'm different. No, you have white skin color configuration, which puts you on a higher plateau, because that's the world that we live in. We live in a racial global hierarchy. And you being on that racial skin color configuration puts you at a more dominant and prominent position in life. Simple as that, because people will look at you to marry you before they look at somebody else of a darker tint. Now, men, we don't really care as much. A man, if a girl's pretty, she pretty. We don't give a damn. And women are like that too as well, but to a certain degree, because remember, the woman has to not only take the baby for 9 months, but she also has to deal with her family members. So if she dates a black guy, she got to go with like her family's approval, her friends' approval, So it's a little bit deeper. Let's continue.
in reality, I just like to express myself through my hair and stuff. I just think hair dye is really cool.
Yeah, see, you can just change your hair dye and say I'm emo, but at the end of the day, you can make your hair blonde and say you're a white woman, and you know what I mean, and you'll be treated just fine, Young men, also understand this. Your racial makeup and racial profile plays a huge effect as well. You can be an ugly guy of any race and any color and any creed, of course. But there are certain, I've seen fat white guys in South Korea win and score cute Asian girls. I've seen guys, fat, white guys or whatever in the Philippines, and they get beautiful women. I've seen it. I'm not saying it happens to all of them, but I've definitely seen it. I definitely haven't seen no ugly black man with a cute girl. You know what I mean? Unless he got some money, unless he's Kai Cenat. Brutal.
Clothes are cool and music is cool. But I don't know. I just feel like very stuck all the time, and it really sucks. And
You only feel stuck because you don't have Chad. If Chad would have came right now, all of a sudden you don't feel stuck and you want to go out to the movies with him, you want to suck him up, you want to do dirty things with him. But then guys like us who be good for you, we kind of have neat tendencies. But and you're a pretty girl, I would love to have this girl as a girlfriend. And one of the main reasons I'm making this video is because she kind of looked like somebody that I was trying to talk to before I got ghosted. These are the type of girls that I low key kind of like. These shy, neat girls or whatever like this. These pretty ones, but they're just the same as any other female. You know. They treat you exactly the same. You would think that they'll come from this position, they'll be a little bit more humble and all that. No, females are all the damn same when it comes to this. Looks matter, point blank, period.
It really hurts seeing people around me like my age have like a boyfriend, have a car, be able to get a job, because my family is like really nervous about that.
You can easily have a boyfriend, a car, and a job and all that. It's a thing called OnlyFans, OnlyFries. You can have that. You know what I mean? I'm done. This is making me mad now. You know what I mean? It's it's really brutal, young man, but watch out for these pretty girls like this, these neat females, you see their rooms all decorated with all that, all the stuffed teddy bears and all that. And you think, oh, she's fine. She understands what it feels like to be isolated and rejected, so she ain't gonna care about my looks or nothing like that. No, they're gonna care about your looks no matter what. So just keep your head on a swivel, and make sure you don't get deceived, man. All these whores are the same. If you're not Chad or Tyrone, you're gonna be alone. Point blank, period.